Hello dear friends, Fisher here. Today we came to a little story of Bruno. And Bruno was talking about his lawsuit. And he said to his friend, "Yes, dear friends, you see the good enter the human body." And people said, "Gröning had healed, and because he had done good, that's why he must be punished. And yes, where is my friend? Which friend knew how to protect me in this situation? On the contrary, my many friends took me to the slaughterhouse. They only harmed me. They didn't know how to express themselves. They didn't have any ideas what to say to the government officials. They expressed themselves incorrectly, and they accepted evil. They were fearful as well in front of the government officials, so that put me in danger. That's why the trial was taking place. It is not my fault. I'm fighting for you. I'm not shifting the blame, but that's what's happened. It wasn't my fault, but I had to bear all this, to bear the responsibility for what you have said, for what you have done. So dear friends, it is very important so you express yourself properly, you express yourself correctly. Yes, dear friends, in 1950s, when Bruno was helping people, and often the one who was healed through him by God referred to him that he was the healer. He treated them because they didn't know anything better to say. They went to the doctor, and doctor gave them medication, medical examination, and they were treated by the doctor. So they went to Bruno. Bruno didn't give them any medication. Bruno didn't even touch so many of the friends, but the healing happened. So they said Bruno treated them because Bruno asked them to stretch their arms and legs. Bruno asked them to stand up, to walk. So many people in that time simply consider Bruno's ask was a form of treatment. They didn't know how the healing occurred. They didn't know how they get well. They didn't know how all the energy worked. So what people did know is they consider Bruno was a miracle doctor, so he treated them in his way. So that's why Bruno was held responsible, because people well-meaning but incorrectly expressed themselves, incorrectly made a statement about Bruno. So because the improper way of speaking, that put Bruno in danger. That gave the authority the excuse to prosecute Bruno. Bruno simply just passed on God's divine energy. That was all. He was simply a rich man, a rich farmer who has plenty of harvest. He simply just passed on the food to people, the spiritual food. Yes, dear friends, Bruno was prosecuted for his benevolence. He had to fight the battle against evil, and the battle against the human authority, and the battle against the ignorance of so many friends and people around him. It was a very difficult task for Bruno. That was what's happened to Bruno. So dear friends, let's help Bruno. First, by accept his teaching and work on God's divine path. Every day absorb God's divine energy. So we first be healthy, be well, be calm, be loving kindness. And then we can pass on all the good to the people around us. That's what I see, how we can help Bruno with his divine mission. I wish you have a peaceful day, and God bless.